What is going on, Wholesale to Freedom family? Thank you so much for watching yet another YouTube channel with me. I do appreciate it. Appreciate all the subscribers, people commenting, people reaching out to me, asking questions. I love it, guys. Keep it up. Definitely appreciate it. First, I want to let you guys know, if you're looking for a channel that's going to be able to help you guys go ahead and grow within the wholesale real estate market, definitely consider giving a like and subscribe. I got a lot of real stories here for you. Got a lot of real things that come up, and also there's a lot of things I like to bring up that I see off of maybe other forums, people questions, things on those lines, and I think it'll help a lot of you guys. So one of the things I'm going to talk about today, which I think just about 50% of people probably run into, so you will be able to relate to this more than likely, is analysis paralysis. Now, analysis paralysis. Now we're going to talk about how to get you out of that, and first we're going to talk about what it is. Alright guys, we're back. So I took a little pit stop, just running some errands today. So what is analysis paralysis? And if you guys haven't noticed, got this little stash going on. Yes, I know it's lit. You like it. Wife likes it too, so alright. But let's get back to the real stuff. So analysis paralysis is simply, and this is, like I said, I think this is probably the biggest crutch that a lot of people have, not only in the wholesale world, but in anything that may be new to you and you're a thinker. Which, being a thinker is never a bad thing, because you want to kind of know what you're getting into before you get into it. But then it gets to a point where you're kind of making up situations or putting scenarios together that necessarily haven't happened. So the results, so what you're trying to get is kind of hard to say. So I guess you're making a situation, but then you're trying to get real answers possibly from people of that situation when you have nothing else to back it up other than what you think could happen. So for instance, I just had a girl on one of the Facebook groups I'm on. She asked, is there a way to negotiate, I think it was tax liens and code violations, the actual cost of them, and bring them down. People gave answers, people did this, people did that, but I mean, my first question was, hey, is this a situation you're actually dealing with, or are you just asking the question? Of course, she was just asking the question. But she's never done a deal before, she doesn't understand it, but she's thinking about all the possibilities and things that can go wrong. Do know, in real estate or in any situation, there's probably hundreds of things that could go wrong. And when I say literally, there's probably hundreds of things that can go wrong. There's probably hundreds of things that can go wrong. But the chances of you running into all 100 of those things, in even possibly in even a lifespan, is probably slim to none. I've been doing mortgages for a very long time, for almost about 13 years now. And there's situations that you run into, and you have to tackle them as they come. If I were to tackle those situations prior to that, I would possibly be losing out on a lot of business, because what you're ultimately doing for yourself is that you're creating work when the work hasn't presented itself. So what you really need to do is analyze the deal first. If it's a good deal and it warrants that extra work that you need to do, such as negotiating code violations, negotiating tax liens, stuff along those lines, then you know that, hey, this is a good deal and I want to go ahead and get vested in it, opposed to analyzing a deal that you haven't even done, so you don't know what the outcome of that deal can be. I hope that makes sense, but you're putting in so much sweat equity and so much time into something that you don't even know if it's a deal. That's why whenever I talk to anyone about doing any type of wholesale deal, if you make contact with someone, never analyze the deal. Just get the information. Get their name, get their contact information, size of the home, square footage, any inconsistencies, any problems they may have, what problem they're trying to resolve. Get all of that information first. then take that and put it off to the side, and then you analyze that secondly. Because I think most people will try to analyze it all in one, or maybe they say, hey, this person's got a tax lien, they got tax debt, they got this, and then they start thinking about all these different things. No, you can't do that, because you don't know what's on the back end. They could have a spouse that's still on title and they haven't removed them, and that spouse would have to sign off, and they're estranged and they're having problems. They could have a probate situation where they're running into problems and they haven't invested time and money themselves into doing what it takes to be able to get that probate situation started. So what you need to do is get all of the information on your situation before you start analyzing all the ins and outs, ups and downs, backs and arounds, because you're going to honestly waste a ton of time by doing that. So let's go about how to completely eliminate analysis paralysis, because I think that's a one thing that people need to do, is how to eliminate it, or mitigate it, how to bring that level down a little bit for those thinkers out there. Because I know you thinkers out there, you guys are like, what? This doesn't make any sense. So let's figure out a way to go ahead and mitigate that, bring it down to a level so that you can go ahead and move forward and make some deals and make some money. All right, guys, it is hot here in Arizona. Actually, I don't even know which way I can walk. That's okay, because if I walk this way, my face is burning. If I walk this way, the camera's like super washed out. So it's getting a little windy, so I might just walk backwards. Do my thing. All right, cool. So wanted to talk about a couple ways. Actually, let's see if I can walk. All right, that looks much better. Okay, so wanted to talk about a couple ways to not get analysis paralysis. Step one, go to the basics. You'll probably hear this if you've ever played sports and you're having a really hard time, maybe shooting, pitching, hitting the ball, catching the ball, anything along those lines. Your coach will always tell you, go back to the basics. So that's what I'm gonna tell you. Step one, go back to the basics. Step two, I will say, is take every deal as it comes. I know a lot of people out there want to be proactive and want to know everything about everything. You'll never know everything about everything, because as soon as you know everything about everything, it's getting windy out here, something will change. So take every deal as it comes in. All right. Number three, I will say, is keep it simple, stupid. Now, that's probably something that's used a little bit more in sales, which I think is great for anyone using, is keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Basically what you're doing in a situation like that is, all you're doing is just keeping things as easy as possible. More of a sales pitch that comes from is explaining things to people. So instead of explaining all the fancy mojo and using all the fancy numbers, like, yeah, it's great that you're a person that can use big words and do all those things, but a majority of people don't care about that. They just want the answers that they need. So they don't need you to give them all the fluff and make it seem like you're the smartest person on the world. They could care less if you are the smartest person in the world. They really just want the information that they want, and they want it accurately. That's all they want. So that's the same way you need to take in information for yourself, is keep it simple. Okay? Keep it very basic. I would say probably when you're taking in information, imagine you are a I don't even know, like a 5-year-old, right? A 5-year-old, obviously their brain is a big sponge, but when they take in a lot of information, you kind of see their brain going crazy. You definitely see their brain going crazy. They take in a lot of information, they're doing a lot of different things. You can kind of see that throughout their day and whatever they're doing in their life, that they're just doing a lot, right? But if you take things very simple, very simple approach, then you will have much better results. That's why most teachers, when they're teaching, they take things very small increments when they're teaching it to kids, right? You don't immediately go from addition, and then the next day you're doing subtraction, next day you're doing multiplication, next day you're doing division. It's probably a month of addition, understanding the basics of how to add when you're adding on top, or when you're multiplying, or when you're doing double digits and things on those lines. They keep it very simple because the brain understands that much easier. And then as that simplicity starts to go, then you can understand the more complex things, but you have to understand the simple part first. So those are my tips for anyone that is struggling with analysis paralysis. I mean, like I said, just go back to the basics. I'd say probably the biggest thing is definitely keep it simple, stupid. Just keep everything nice and simple, and take every deal as it comes, because you're going to find every deal is going to be a little unique, and you're going to find the things you probably worried about in a deal probably aren't even going to happen. You're like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? And then when you get the deal, you're like, whoo, that was way easier than I thought it was, right? So make it a good day, guys. Thank you very much for checking out the video. If you appreciate the content, like, subscribe, share with your friends, comment, and let's just keep this thing lit. I'm feeling really good about where I am with you guys and giving you the information that you need to be able to help you succeed. If you need any additional information from me, do not hesitate to like and then comment, because if you don't like it, I'm not going to read it. I'm just kidding. Make sure you like and comment at least, and then I will see you guys in the next. Peace.